Welcome to the Greater Purpose Podcast from the Cubs Den. Romans 8:28 says, and we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. We're glad to have you here, and I'm going to introduce my guest in just a minute. Before we do that, let's talk about our sponsors. Our main sponsor is A+ Lawn Care and Landscaping, Scott Sheehan. He has a great business down there. He's also a county commissioner, but don't hold that against him. Just kidding. But over there on 1812 East Ozark Avenue in Gastonia, they've got everything you need. They have brand new hours. So they've got a guy on site. He can deliver materials for you, all that kind of good stuff. We have multiple other sponsors. We'll talk about those in a minute. Let's get right to our guest here, Tom McCray. Glad to have you here, brother.
Great to be here.
Yeah, so Tom is one of our no agenda breakfast guys. Probably 2 years now, right? You've been coming pretty steady.
Around 2 years.
So Miles invited you.
Yep.
Right, and you stayed, and Miles left. So So Miles was there in the beginning. Actually, he was one of our first ones. I think back down on Union Road.
Charter member.
Yeah, charter member. Well, we started out in Stanley, so those charter members are different than the ones that transferred down to Gastonia. All those came. And then some of those filtered out, but a bunch of new ones added on, and Miles was a part of that group. And I don't know who invited Miles. I need to find out who invited Miles.
That's true.
But anyway, so because of Miles, you're here today. How about that? Huh? There's the connection. Miles is now in Asia. If you're watching the podcast, Miles, we appreciate you out there. And just so you know, we have your lights. The lights that you donated to the podcast, we appreciate that. They're very bright. You cannot look at them, but they do a really good job in here. So, yeah?
Absolutely.
He's trying not to look. Oh, he just looked at it. Okay. All right. So, Tom, tell us first, before we go into our godly man, our spiritual topics, tell us a little bit about Tom McCray. What do we need to know?
Let's see. I'm a native of Hickory. Lived for about 5 years in Myrtle Beach and then moved back to Hickory and then ended up in Gastonia. I am a licensed real estate broker, even though I hadn't sold a piece of land in several years.
Wow. Yeah.
But I like to keep my license active. I became a real estate appraiser in 2001, and I have been gainfully employed as a real estate appraiser since January 16th of 2001.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
cool.
Certified residential real estate appraiser.
Yeah, that's an interesting line of work there. Yeah. So family, all that kind of stuff. What you got?
Have 2 sons. Mm-hmm. The oldest is Gunnery Sergeant Alex McCray.
Oh, cool.
Him and his wife are presently stationed in Okinawa, Japan.
Wow.
And then the second son is a math and science teacher.
Wow.
In Raleigh. Him and his wife have a 10-wheel. Well, let's see. He'll be a year old in about 6 weeks.
Wow. September 10th. All right.
So
Papa or
first grandson.
Or what do they call it? Grandpa, Papa, Pappy. I mean, you know.
Michael wants to teach him to say mustache man.
There you go. Recognized for your mustache. I got it. That's pretty cool. So, so well, let's see. So let's just jump right into the questions. When did you, so our men's breakfast is not a prayer breakfast. Of course, we do have prayer. We do, guys have prayer requests. We do, I try to share a little bit scripturally, a little bit of encouragement from a scriptural basis, and I know not everybody in there. I think everybody pretty much is on the same path as far as that kind of stuff goes. But when did you first realize, you know what, I need to be a godly man? What was your first inclination there?
I think once you have children, your whole lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was brought up in the church. Mm-hmm. My parents, attended church. But I think once you start having kids, you begin to think, well, I need to do a better job. I need to set a good example. I hope for the most part I've set a good example for my two sons. So
changes your whole. As soon as you said that, in the Pentecostal church we call it Holy Ghost chills, but because I'm not going to say everybody, because we've had some guys in here. The youngest guest we've had was 5 years old, Anthony Wright. He's my biggest fan, and we've had some younger guys that are not yet married, but almost, I'm going to say every guy who's been in here who is married or been married and divorced, which I've been married and divorced and happily remarried, has said that was a big shift for them. Like some of them, that was the shift. So yeah, it kind of wakes you up, doesn't it?
It does.
Hit you in the head.
It's a wake up call.
Yeah. So how old? Did you say how old they were?
No, I didn't. Alex is 30. Born in 87.
Oh gosh, 39.
So 39.
Yep.
And then,
I know that because I have one born in 87.
Really?
Yep.
And then Michael is 35.
Gotcha. 39. 39, be 40 next year.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
And of course, I have two great daughters-in-law too.
Oh, good. Yeah. There you go.
They're great.
Cool. So so you realized kids came along. I need to be living the right kind of life. I need to be living a godly life. I need Jesus in my life. Which you may have already been saved before that. You can tell us that in a minute if you want to. But so who would have been your inspiration at that particular time? Was it somebody then, or was it somebody that built into you earlier, where you made that connection with now being the father? Now you had a spiritual legacy you needed to leave.
I think it's a combination of just different people that I've encountered in my life. No one in particular. My dad, of course, he was very did a lot in the church, and he was a Boy Scout. What's the word?
Yeah, not a pack. They're not pack leaders. They're
Scoutmaster.
Master. That's it. Thanks. I know.
And and he set a good example. I think that's probably where I got my work ethic from.
Yeah.
But my neighbors, growing up in a neighborhood where you knew your neighbors, you did things for your neighbors and helped them, and vice versa.
Yeah. Well, give your dad a shout out. What's your dad's name?
Elbert McCray.
Gilbert. Elbert. Okay. Elbert McCray. Gotcha.
Elbert Glenn McCray. He was named after his middle name. They took from the doctor that delivered.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
The hospital in Hickory. So.
Well, there you go. So up in Hickory. So what church was that then?
They were charter members. My grandfather was a charter member of Bethany Lutheran Church. In West Hickory.
Gotcha.
So
cool. All right. So yeah, and then you were saying your neighbors.
My neighbors, Cliff Huffman, who was in the well drilling business, but he was like a second grandfather to me.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Gosh, there's been and people at Bethany at that time, and things that we were taught in Sunday school. And
right.
It just kind of came back around.
Right. Yeah. So So which proves to somebody who's watching out there that their spiritual walk is important to other people. So that's what one of the things that we try to point out here is that we don't live in a bubble. We don't live in a vacuum.
No.
People are watching you. People are paying attention. They know what you're doing. They know what you're not doing, etc. So it's important to just based upon what you're saying, it's important that the people around us influence us. So, but
even my trainer at the gym, he's in his 20s.
Okay.
He's a very disciplined young man.
Yeah.
Closing on his first house today. I'm excited.
That's
for him.
cool.
But
you want to shout? You want to give his name?
Nelson. I hope I've got his last name right.
Yeah.
Bangas.
Okay.
If you need a good trainer at the fitness refinery in the Loray Mill, he's a good guy.
Okay.
He's a good guy.
Cool.
Very Christian oriented.
Yeah.
Very knowledgeable.
Nice.
So
It's nice to have that when you're, and I have relationships with people who are not Christians. I'm obviously closer to those who are, and it's really great to have a relationship like that, business or service relationship or whatever, where
Sure.
You both share the same principles and the same. I've stood in the driveway I've had guys come look at the roof, cut down trees, whatever, and I've stood in the driveway and talked for 45 minutes about church and the Bible and spiritual encouragements and all kinds of stuff. So it sure is nice to have those. So how old is he? He's a young guy? Or?
Young guy. He's in his late 20s.
Okay, gotcha. That's really young for us.
Yeah, he's been married a couple of years, 2-3 years,
Yeah.
but
Cool.
they're closing on their first house today.
Well, good for him.
Yep.
That'll be good. Yeah, cool. So, and we talked about houses and stuff before this. We won't go into all that stuff, but the way all that stuff is changing. So now, this is 40 years later that you realize or began to realize my life's got to change. Not saying it was bad before that. I don't know. You can share whatever you want to about mine was really bad. I've given my testimony several times on here, but that was just a particular point in your life where you saw, okay, I've got to start. So now, what do you feel like is you join us for breakfast, you're encouraging, you're positive, you're a conversationalist, you're building into other guys' lives. This is what I see at the breakfast. You guys don't know this, but I watch this stuff. So anyway, how do you feel though right now you're most effective in your spiritual walk in affecting other, particularly men or boys, in their walk?
Well, I will say at the beginning, I stumble.
Yeah. Woo, me too.
Along the way, I stumble every day.
Still stumble now, right?
I'm not by any means perfect or the perfect Christian.
Nobody is. None of us are. Yep.
The biggest, I try and offer encouragement to my youngest especially. He converted to his wife's Catholic, and so he converted to a Catholic. I love to go to mass with him.
Yeah.
But just trying to set a good example, trying to be a listener especially in my job. With an older person, who may live by themselves. They're happy to see somebody, come visit. I may take a little longer just to listen to them and hear them tell their story. With their aches, their pains, their good times, bad times.
Some of them don't get that kind of connection.
That's true.
So
that's exactly right. So I feel like, that's one of the greatest things about my profession right now.
Well, and the importance of what you just said needs to be addressed. Stopping and listening to people, because in our 20s and 30s, I think, maybe even our 40s, we're always in a hurry. And there's some guys, I love them. I love all of them. I'm not going to name anybody, but they're always busy. And I'm very busy, but you've got to stop and slow down and take a minute. And there are some names I could throw out who do that, but I don't want to single anybody out. And I'm not offended by that if they don't, because I've got some friends who are like, okay, boom, boom, and that's it. And I probably do that some too. But I've learned more as I've gotten older how to stop a second, slow down, look them in the eye, and listen, rather than, I've got to tell you something and then I got to go on my way, which that's a societal thing too. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so important point. If you're going to build into somebody's life, you can't just talk, you have to listen. So, and be an encourager, so which is what you are, so that's pretty cool. So any other, so you mentioned your dad, you mentioned your neighbors, your fitness trainer. Anybody else that you can think of that might be a spiritual beacon at this, maybe over the last 10 or 15 years, or even currently?
Of course, Miles was an influence on me because he did a lot of things in the background that he wouldn't necessarily talk about
ever. I was hoping you'd mention
helping people. either in business or personal wise.
Yeah.
Gosh, a lot of people I deal with on a regular basis, friends that do things, little things to help out people.
Well, let's camp on Miles for just a second. Not because this podcast is not about Miles. This is about you. But we share a camaraderie. Yours is obviously longer and deeper than mine with Miles. But when I mentioned the lights that we have here, LED lights, he had said before he was going to Asia, he had said he had a couple of things he wanted to donate to the podcast. Mm-hmm. And he has supported, he came for the hot dog fundraiser. He has supported the men's conference every year. Mm-hmm. I'll show you something in a minute that he's got there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, and then he said he was going to bring a few things. Well, I fortunately emptied out my vehicle because I thought a few things, because he mentioned the lights. I said, yeah, I could really use the lights. And so he came with the back of his vehicle full, completely full. Mm-hmm. He said, I hope you got room in there. So, which just was really overwhelming. I mean, it didn't make me cry. I'm a crybaby, but it didn't make me cry. It wasn't that kind of emotional. But it just showed me that he cared enough. He wasn't just trying to get rid of stuff. Mm-hmm. He saw a place that it could be applied. So I guess that's what he's done in your life as well. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. So, all right, cool. All right, so how about... So the people who have watched regularly, they know that I send out some information so that people can prepare, because I'm a prepare kind of guy. I don't want to just walk in and just throw questions at me. So they know that I've sent you some information to maybe share some specific scriptures, or your favorite book of the Bible, your favorite, Bible hero. Of course, everybody, Jesus is our favorite, we know that. But any of those topics, this is your time right here to share anything as far as you spiritual-wise on the
23rd Psalm.
Yeah.
Always comes to mind. Mm-hmm. The Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
Those are the two.
Yeah.
Two biggies.
Yeah. Well, and we throw those out there. But who was I listening to the other day that said, you know what, we've got to have those. We've got to have the ones that we count on, the ones that everybody knows. Yeah. John 3:16, stuff like that. Yeah, and he was. I think what he was trying to say was, it made it sound to me. It sounded like maybe somebody was saying, oh, that's just everybody says those. But you know how many times Psalm 23 has been mentioned on this podcast? I mean, and some guys like Paul Brentley, they can recite the whole thing back to back. But as you see, I have our main verse right up there on the wall, because I'm terrible at quoting stuff, so I can't do that. But you still know what it means. You still know how it applies. You still know how it affects your life. And so those are extremely important. Cool. Yeah. So, all right. So anything else as far as those go, or any spiritual, you got any big things coming up? Any things you're doing at your church, or anything like that going on that you can think of?
Not really.
Just kind of chill, huh?
Yeah, just getting through the day.
Gotcha. Yeah, there you go, right? Yeah. And who gets us through the day? God gets us through the day. Absolutely. So, all right, now before you do, you're going to do a sports story, a sports-related story. But before you do that, now I don't know if I gave you a shirt. I brought some shirts to the men's breakfast one time, and you're always there, so you've already got one. So I cannot give you that. But let's see. But I do downstairs. I know you don't have one of these, but I didn't bring the bag up here. So this is from our men's conference, the Greater Purpose. Whoops, that's not what I got it backwards. The Greater Purpose. And it's got our scripture on there, Romans 8:28. So I can't present that to you now because it's downstairs. But you will get one of those. Right. Turn it around so the person standing in front of me can read it. So I'm not reading it. But anyway, so I usually give the shirt and then I tell about the sponsors. That's what I was going to say before, because Miles is on there. Yep. Somewhere. Where's Miles? Miles, where are you? There he is. Miles Hamrick, right there. So anyway, those are some of our sponsors for the men's conference, and they don't directly sponsor the podcast, But because of what they do through the conference, we're able to do a lot of different stuff. So you don't get another shirt. Sorry. No, you actually can, because you're a podcast guest. What size do you wear? Wait, you don't want to tell that on camera. Will that fit?
Oh, was that large?
Extra.
Yeah.
That work? Okay.
That'll work. That'll work.
Don't want to put him on the spot. Well, I'm a double X, that kind of thing. So, but you also get an autographed. See, if you've been watching the end of the podcast, you might know this. You get an autographed Willie Ace. It's not official Chicago Cubs Topps. I do have my jersey on there, but Topps had some where you could have your own made. I don't think I have any of those left anyway, but they stopped making them. There's one on the wall. They can't see it anymore. Where is it? You see me over here somewhere? I'm here somewhere. I know I am. Maybe I fell off. Anyway, so I had to go to another company. It's not a Topps official one, but anyway, I'll autograph the card, and my producer says it'll be worth exactly what it's worth when you leave here.
Okay.
Whatever that means. So, but also the most exciting thing about the entire thing. Oh wait, you also get a Morgan's. It's one of our sponsors from the Mets. See, you get all kinds of stuff. Morgan's hand sanitizer. We used to do this hand sanitizer, Mr. Bill's and Bill Ward Photography, as a shameless plug for my businesses. But that's the last bottle, so it's only. I need to put it up here with my Cubs guy, right? But anyway, but you do get Morgan's is one of our big sponsors for the men's conference. But you also get to choose. Look, a brand new bag, which I really need my box. There it is. It's so brand new that I haven't even emptied into the box yet, and I haven't even identified these guys. So this is going to be fun. You get to choose a Lego superhero. And in the back of your mind, you're saying, why in the world do I need to choose a Lego superhero, right? You're wondering, right? I know you are. And the reason is because there's two reasons. Because STEM, which is what I do for a living, primarily, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. Engineering is building things. We build Lego robots. But it's also because we believe the men that come through here on the Greater Purpose podcast are superheroes. So you guys get to see this. Hopefully this will get us some clicks, right? This will get us some likes and stuff. So anyway, we've got a bunch of new, I don't even know who they are. There's a soldier in white, a superhero all in white. There's one all in black. Oh, that's Fury from Nick Fury from Marvel. You familiar with the Marvel movies?
No.
Oh, you're not? Uh-oh. This could be, well, I got to find you. There's I'm going to say that's not Wonder Woman. I don't know. And we keep the women in here, even though we're men. We keep the women in here because we, women in our lives, they're superheroes too. There's Captain America. There's Superman. Haven't had a Superman in a while. Superman, you know those guys.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you want anybody in particular? And you don't have to put it together in here. Oh, there's another Captain. Oh, wow. Look at this. A Captain America Spider-Man. Look at that. I've never seen that. Oops. Sorry, wrong way. I always look at the wrong part of the thing. There's, I don't know what that is. Some other kind of Spider. There's like 50 different kinds of Spider-Man now, right?
I can believe it.
That one's kind of creepy looking. Anyways, so which, you got a preference? There's a regular Spider-Man. All right, so since you're not familiar with the Marvel movies, I won't make you pick through those. Spider-Man, Superman, or Captain America?
We'll do Superman.
Superman. There you go.
Superman.
Cool.
Thank you.
Now you get to tell us, while I'm opening the other bag, I'll try not to make too much noise. Tell us your sports-related story.
Sports-related story.
It doesn't have to be. Oh, you got it. Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah, when seeing Hank Aaron play in the old Atlanta County, Fulton County Stadium.
Nice.
Back, they played the Houston Astros. 1960.
Man.
67.
Right after they came from Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't been to the Atlanta Braves long.
That's cool. So did you go to a lot of games or just occasionally?
As a kid, probably saw him play the Astros and saw him play the Mets.
Okay.
and then went for a long period of time, and I didn't see any Braves games.
So you got to see Hank Aaron several times, and that's cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
And gosh, who else was playing at that time?
Yeah, I can't think of any names back then. That was all the brand new era for baseball in Atlanta.
And of course, my two sons are big Braves fans, obviously. Chipper Jones and all that crowd.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and Dale Murphy, I remember when Dale Murphy was all they had for probably, 10 years? It was like it. So
Ralph Garr, I remember Ralph Garr.
Well, and you took a couple of our guys. You took, I'm looking on the wall here, Maddox, Greg Maddox.
Yeah, that's right. He was
a Cub for a long time before he was Braves. Jerome Walton, he was another one. We got some guys from you that didn't turn out so hot. Hayward, yeah. I can't remember. Names are like really bad for me right now. The older I get, names get worse. Even names I know.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's like worse and worse.
My daughter-in-law is from Chicago, so she's a Cubs and a Bears.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's glad when we got some. Well, we got Swanson, and he hadn't done much for us. He had that great year with you guys. Anyway, so those old days. So a lot of people don't know that the Braves came from Milwaukee.
From Milwaukee.
Yeah, and then Milwaukee got another team again. So, but yeah, I was telling that to somebody because they were like, "Oh, I'm a big Brave. I've been a Braver all my life." Okay, so you know where they came from? Mm-hmm. And they're like, "What do you mean? Where they come from?" I said, "Well, they were Milwaukee."
And my dad was a Cincinnati Reds fan, so
yeah, they've been.
He liked the Reds.
There you go.
But gosh, I can remember. Is in the early '70s watching Game of the Week, either Cincinnati, the Mets, Pittsburgh,
the A's for a little while there.
The A's, the A's big time.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Yeah, New York was always up in there too. So just because of the population, but the Yankees have always been good too.
Even though I didn't play baseball,
you like to watch baseball.
I like to watch baseball.
Yeah, we're going to a Ghost Peppers game. Well, this will post on Monday, so by the time you see this, we've already been to the Ghost Peppers game. We went to the Crawdads game last weekend.
Oh yeah.
We saw the Cubs affiliate. So Hickory is the White Sox affiliate.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, we used to go to a lot of Crawdads
I
games
bet you
when I
did.
lived in Hickory.
Yeah. Well, so here's my interesting sports story, which I'm pretty sure I've never told. Not on here, but I tell it every time we go up there. I'm sure my wife is tired of it. But we, when they built that stadium, I lived in Statesville and worked a lot in Hickory in that area, selling for a medical supply company, first aid boxes and eye wash and hearing stuff, all that for manufacturing places and all kinds of places. Anyway, so I called on them while they were building the stadium and just connected with the GM at the time, David Haas, I think was his name. But anyway, he wasn't a GM at the time, but then he eventually was. But anyway, so we actually sold them. I should have looked when we were there last time. We sold them they had to have first aid kits. So many in the stadium at certain locations, not just at the first aid station. At least at that time it was. So we sold them, I don't know, maybe a dozen of them. And they were the big industrial size. And then they had to put locks on them and stuff. But anyway, I actually put all the first aid kits up at the stadium, LP France. So that is kind of cool. So anyway, I know who cares, right?
It's a great stadium. I mean,
it is.
I enjoyed it. It was great family entertainment.
It is. No, absolutely. It still has that feel too.
Yeah.
Some of these parks, I like the Charlotte Knights, but we went the last time Donna and I went to a game. It's like they all roll in about the third inning. And they're all talking, and they're all sloshing their beers.
It's a social thing.
Yeah, and it's like they didn't see the first pitch. They have no idea there's a guy up there batting right now that I'm trying to watch. And you're standing up talking to your friends. And then the people that came in, after they came in late, that are not paying attention to the game at all. And I don't understand that. Why are you going to a game if you don't pay attention? So that was kind of weird. Now, it was not like that at Hickory. We did have a lady standing up in our way, but there weren't many people in our section, so I think she just wasn't paying attention. But the feel of the park, I agree, is a family feel. sort of like the Charlotte Knights is not. It used to be. I remember going to some games right after they first built that park, and it had that feel to begin with. And the old park down in South Carolina, yeah, it had that feel. I think it did, but then they got, anyway, whatever. So I don't know. Have you been to a Ghost Peppers game this year?
Not this year.
Okay, we haven't either.
Went last year.
Yeah, we haven't been since they were going through the name change thing and try to decide. So we haven't been to official Ghost Peppers. So anyway, looking forward to that. Well, Tom, listen, I appreciate you being here.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Coming. Yeah, I appreciate your friendship and you being a part of the men's No Agenda breakfast. And you guys as well. Listen, you're welcome to come. We have guys show up out of the blue. We will not turn you away, no matter what your politics are. So had to throw a political thing in there, right? No, we do. We want guys to come and join us. It's the third, except for this month, which is August. This is going to be the second Saturday of the month. But it's normally the third Saturday of the month, every month at Floyd and Blackie's. We appreciate them too and everything. Sandy and that, they take care of us down there. 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, third Saturday of every month except for August, which is the second Saturday. But yeah, you guys come join us. Anyway, thanks for checking this out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing, subscribing, all that kind of good stuff. Please share this, get the word out there. We appreciate you being here. Remember, our Scripture, Romans 8:28, I started out with this, and we know that God causes all things to work together for those who love God, so you got to love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. So we hope that you're walking in His purpose, and that's why we call this the Greater Purpose Podcast. Thanks for being here. God bless.